What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven here with your afternoon snap. And the other day, I went through every card in Marvel Snap alphabetically to see which starting letter was the best. Today, we are putting that to the test because in this week's community battle, you have to pick 3 letters, and then every card in your deck has to start with one of those 3 letters. So in the previous video, I talked about some deck ideas that I thought would be pretty strong. I was really excited for this one, actually. And so even after I stopped recording the previous video, I was still thinking about what might be fun to play. So I've come up with some new ideas even in this video, and we're gonna start with a little bit of a deviation on Silver Surfer. That was one of the decks that I brought up in the previous video, but I changed one of the letters. I cut the W because I think there are some other synergies that I wasn't really thinking about with G's and B's, specifically how Gwenpool and Galactus can interact with Brood and Black Panther. So we're gonna give that a try first, and I think this is possibly the best deck in the format, so we'll see what other silly stuff we can play after this. They could have a 3/7 Ghost or a Silver Surfer, and then they kind of know what's up. They are on TM. That doesn't really get me anywhere. I am seeing some card creation. That's a little bit of a theme, so that's interesting. We certainly just Ghost here. Wait, why can I play... Oh, okay. I can't play Ghost in Mini-Lab. I was like, what is going on there? All right. So can we throw a Symbiote Spider-Man onto a Sam Wilson? We might be able to do so. And then the final turn, like we're kind of just curving out here. The final turn. So I was thinking, can this go onto the shield? It can, right? And that gives me a flexible amount of power. Next turn I move the shield in here, activate it, and then just play a Black Panther into Space Throne and hope that 10's enough. Final turn I get to play Seabass or potentially Brood plus Silver Surfer. Or maybe even Baron Zemo. Probably not Grandmaster. Alright. We'll see. This looks like the best thing I can come up with. They are filling the Space Throne this turn, also dropping the Silver Surfer. Demon we are going to be able to beat. It will be a reasonable commitment, though. So maybe my opponent is not going to be too upset about that. Oh, Dream Dimension. Oh, okay. Well, then it's less of a commitment here, right? We just play Seabass, and then the final turn we're going for... probably Baron Zemo plus Silver Surfer, though. Yeah, Brood off the top is still good. Let's activate this, give ourselves an 8-power shield that we can also move into Mini-Lab. And I think we'll just have too much power in Mini-Lab that they won't be able to battle for. They do get around Dream Dimension this turn, which is kind of cool. And now we might see them... Okay, so they are BMT. Oh, I should have built a BLT deck. Oh, that's a good idea. All right, we're getting some ideas here. I do feel like I have a pretty incredible amount of power. Oh, I can't move this. Oh, that's a bummer. All right, well, who cares? Baron Zemo Silver Surfer has got to be the play, though, still. And we'll see what we end up getting. We can't get the hood, so that's good. That would have been a trap otherwise. We do also don't have to worry about Eliath, don't have to worry about Cosmo. It's just T, M's, and B's. I think we'll be all right. We've tossed priority because of Ghost, so that's kind of a cute thing. Looks like it's Medusa plus Mobius and my Silver Surfer. Not sure what they are doing other than that. Okay, yeah, just the Collector. That's another T with some card generation with Mirage and the Hood. We are able to take it down with a cosmic victory, and it's a good way, I think, to start off this video. I think I'm going to retire this deck because I do think it's probably the best deck in the format, and I'm looking to play and experiment with some other stuff. I think getting a win with Galactus early on in the event is going to be important because that will mean that then people are less likely to know to play around it. And we'll give one of these. How about that? Yeah, that might put some of my opponents a little bit more off their game. Asteroid M is going to mean that we can't go Symbiote Spider-Man Galactus, so that's kind of curious. I will probably just Psylocke into Gwenpool here. And there is an interesting idea that Crown City could help me win a Galactus. I'm actually currently looking to maybe go Symbiote Spider-Man and then next turn double Gwenpool. That's an interesting idea, especially if we draw Galactus. Okay. This cannot really help me, other than going Grandmaster Shang-Chi on the final turn, which I might have changed this deck around a little bit. I think I had I think I forgot to put in Phastos initially in my video yesterday, but it does seem like it's a good way to reduce the cost of Galactus. Okay, yep, Asteroid M could very well be getting filled here. Green Goblin might wind up filling up Asteroid M. It is not going to stay in Baxter Building most likely unless they fill Asteroid M this turn without priority. And I don't really want to double Gwenpool with a Green Goblin in my hand, so let's just play Green Goblin this turn, hope to draw Galactus next turn so we can maybe land some Gwenpools on it. If not, we'll see what happens here. Might actually be a little bit tough to Grandmaster Shang-Chi, so we'll see how all of this winds up working out anyways here. This is Mr. Negative. Okay, I could have known by the M's of it all. Wait, no. We just Galactus in Asteroid M now. Right. Right. So all we have to do is not play Gwenpool. Should probably play something. Just Grandmaster? Grandmaster won't give it away, right? Yeah, let's just play Grandmaster. And then we should just be able to drop a Galactus, even if they take Crown City. That doesn't give them enough of a lead in Asteroid M. If they also take Baxter Building and also have Ironheart, it starts to get a little closer, a little dicier. But, I mean, we could imagine them playing, yeah, this is a little too late, unfortunately. We could imagine them playing a Mr. Fantastic here. We can't really imagine too much else. All we have seen is M's and I's. I'm going to assume it could be J's, it could be my deck list. Let's see if we can Galactus them, though. Gonna see a big dump here on the final turn. Yeah, the only question is, do we see a Mr. Fantastic for another 6 points over here? Yes, we do. So that will cancel out the Galactus, unfortunately. Magic will not work, but neither will Galactus. So they're gonna take me for 4 cubes here, and we'll have to see if we can find some more cubes ourselves. They only played M's and I's. I do think it's probably J's. Possibly just, yeah, Jubilee and Jane to finish off the deck list here. Let's see if we can finish them back off, though. Professor X, a pretty good card against them, and without that one location really messing me up, I think that we've got a pretty good setup here. We'll see if this draws a retreat. A lot of times, I'm surprised my opponent did not snap with a Mr. Negative. Just draw Mr. Negative. That is just potentially a snappable position. They didn't have the magic or the Jane, obviously. Well, they had the magic, but too late. They didn't really even do any negative stuff. I wonder if they were actually expecting a turn 7, and that is why they wound up not utilizing the game to the fullest there, but worked out for them. We're going to hang on to the Grandmaster. This gives me the potential to Galactus into the center location on the final turn, which seems good. Sokovia could be a problem. It's a little bit of a problem. Spider-Man, clear out Strange Academy. There is something else you can kind of do funny with Grandmaster and Spider-Man, which is just like keep your opponent out of the center location. It's a little bit nothing this game because Strange Academy will already keep my opponent out of the center location, but I might as well play my cards, right? Mr. Fantastic looking to give my opponent a little bit more power at the center. I'm probably going to need a G-Girl here. There's one. So Gwenpool to battle for Hala. Might just go Gwenpool here, sacrifice it. This would allow me to next turn go Grandmaster and then potentially Galactus. I'd actually almost want to go for this here, though. Opponent snapped. Yeah, I think they're just battling for Hala. Yeah, we'll see if we can just get a bigger Galactus. I'm hoping for Green Goblin or Galacta. Let's see where this gets me. Moonstone, but they're going to be moving out. I could have actually battled for Hala this turn. That would have been good, because now I'm running out of Galactus locations a little bit. Just have to hope that the Moonstone and the Mr. Fantastic get split up. But we do get to make a reasonable play here, which is probably this. Oh, wait, this puts a card in every... No, because the Strange Academy is going to move everybody out of the center. So let's put this here, and then let's throw this here, and hope to get some more Gwenpool hits on Galactus, because unfortunately we did not. I could have gone for a Professor X here. Wouldn't have worked out really with Strange Academy just making that super awkward. All right, I want everything to go over to Sokovia, and then I have a lead in Hala. That's the plan, and a big Galactus. Oh, that's a big Galactus. That is a big boy. Everything to Sokovia, please and thank you. Moonstone over here. Oh, and Gwenpool over here. Sure, I'm going for center then. That's my only play. Let's do it. I mean, I could play Shadow King Shang-Chi, right? But we're not going to do that. We are going to G-man it up. They would need a considerable amount of more points in Strange Academy. Actually, Jane gets it done. Just Jane, dropping Jane center on the final turn would be a pretty heads-up play, but it's not what they're going to come up with. They're going to come up with an Ironheart and another turn 6 magic, which will cause my opponent to kneel before Galactus here. And we're moving on to game 2. Still have not... Oh, we saw the Jubilee. Okay, cool. This might be my exact deck list then. Victory. Nice. That is one thing that is always interesting and just about like the brainstorm process. So I do think that this format is pretty cool because you can like kind of try to predict which cards might be remaining in your opponent's deck. And with all of the brainstorming that I did yesterday, I have a much better handle on what sort of things I might be looking to see. So that is certainly interesting. Galactus, Symbiote, Shadow King. Could just run out the Shadow King. I mean, it doesn't do that much against them. It just cancels out Ironheart, and I guess it cancels out Galactus flips. But like, the question is, do I want priority? Sure. I like battling for Mojo World because Professor X could potentially steal a win here, especially in a Sanctum Sanctorum game. Oh, and a Subterranea game. They could just get unlucky. They could wind up flipping a bunch of rocks. They're Mr. Negative probably at its worst right now, but they could also just draw a bunch of free rocks with Jane and Mr. Negative. So this could be interesting to see. Next turn, I'm going to play Galacta into Mojo World, and then I'm potentially going to follow that up with Professor X into Mojo World, which could just win me differential. If my opponent has no way to get into Sanctum Sanctorum, oh, if they have Mr. Fantastic. They have Mr. Fantastic, they could get into Sanctorum. That is probably likely to come up before turn 6, unless they're sitting on it. If they sit on... Okay, now this also provides some interesting incentives. Now I have to Galactus into Limbo. But I like where we are currently at, to be honest. Galacta, Mojo World, if I'm able to slam Professor X and they have not yet played the Mr. Fantastic... that just means that I've won. They can draw Jane. They can play Jane right here, right now. It is too late. I believe I just won the game. So we'll see. how all of that shakes out. But Professor X, a sneaky sidekick to Galactus. Those are always two cards that I've enjoyed playing together. They've got a Jane. They've drawn an entire reversed deck of cards, but nowhere to put them, unfortunately for them. So we probably just Gwenpool here. I mean, I don't think it matters. We can play Symbiote Spider-Man. Maybe we'll draw Galactus and drop that too, right? Seems fun. Would we ever play Spider-Man? No, my opponent's getting out of there. Nice! Galactus gets it done! I don't even think now that we necessarily have to play this deck. I think it's pretty straightforward what it's trying to do. Maybe I'll play it later on in the video, but maybe I'll move on and try to play some other sweet stuff. This is another deck that I really wanted to play though, and slightly eluded might be possible, and all of the pieces to it just sort of came together for me in a way that I think is really sweet. You've got the S's for the Shadow King Shang-Chi. You've got ThanoS, which facilitates Sasquatch, Thena, and Wiccan, all in really interesting ways. And then we've got Sentry Cersei combo. Cersei can also transform a white tiger. I'm not playing Wong. Toxin is to bounce the Hood and Stones, and Werewolf by Night doing a lot of bouncing around. So this deck seems like it's got a lot of cool stuff going for it as well. We'll see what we are able to pull off here. Opponent with a Hawkeye. We do have a nice curve. Oh, Quantum Tunnel's got to be snappable, huh? Let's, I think, play Time Stone first, because I'd love to double hit the Time Stone. Oh, wait. No. I wanna double hit the Hood. That is just beautiful. Okay. And then we'll probably turn off Quantum Tunnel before my opponent gets to do anything too crazy. Hawkeye plus Kate Bishop here would be a really nice curve out. Ooh, Dagger. All right, doing a little bit of move bounce shenanigans. That is pretty cool. Toxin coming in, not going to do anything for me, but I do grab a Demon for my troubles. And then White Tiger. Okay, well, now this is an interesting location if we can hit a Cersei here. That is pretty cool. And the other thing that I might want to think about is shutting down shop with a Reality Stone. That could very well be something that I care about doing. It locks me out here, which is unfortunate. It also leaves room here to play Cersei if I do hit the Sentry. Draws me 2 cards, which could help with a Sasquatch. Continues to spend all of my energy, which helps with a Wiccan. We're doing a lot of cool stuff here. All right, so let's Soulstone. That gives me a rock. We're going to have to draw some rocks here. Thena's not going to trigger this turn, but it's fine. Sacred Timeline, we fill the location, get a free ThanoS. Sure, we're doing some silliness right now for sure. We could Shadow King. It's not crazy. It doesn't give up that we still have a second Shadow King waiting in the wings, and we drop a Demon. Next turn, we play ThanoS plus nothing. Following turn, we play ThanoS plus probably a rock, maybe a Power Stone. Sounds good to me. A 2/5 Shadow King. It's as good as it gets. Anti-Venom. ADH. What am I missing in ADH? I'm not sure. We'll drop the Soulstone on the final turn. Not that I really have to worry about any tech. Are they playing Agamotto? They are. Yes. Okay. So it's an Agamotto deck. They could get me out of Sacred Timeline. Is that worth playing around? I don't want to get... Actually, I don't think it's worth playing around. I think we put the ThanoS here with the intention of playing ThanoS center next turn if they wins me right now. But if they don't wins me, then I just play ThanoS Subterranea and then probably Soulstone. But yeah, there's no Shang-Chi. No Shang-Chi. So what do I have to play around here? Ajax not in the Citadel. Kind of crazy. But we're just going to play 2 cards this turn. Oh, the H is certainly for Hazmat. I have priority. They also get to play a free card off Anti-Venom. Honestly, we still have a lot of power. If they have, Diamondback plus Hazmat is pretty insane. D for Diamondback here. That will get me in the Citadel. Is there any chance this plays around Diamondback? Yeah, possibly. Let's go for it. Oh, they went all center. What could be all center? Could be, oh, Heimdall. Okay, that's spicy. And then a free, could this be a free Hazmat? Off Anti-Venom? It is. Is that going to be enough in Onslaught? It's got to be. I got so many cards in play. Dang, all right, GG's to my opponent there for finding the line. Ajax, I did kind of want to show off, so I think I am going to keep this in the video. We'll play one more game here, because I can't personally play Ajax as like one of the few cards I don't own, so it's nice to still see it in action. We'll keep playing it out. I know they fist bumped me. They're looking for me to retreat here. We're going to make them play one more game at the very least, just so that way we can see a little bit more of what Ajax can do, but I do think this will be a reasonably popular pick regardless. Big House into Thena. Yeah. No, I accept the snap for sure. Let's Reality Stone. Even though Big House is fine for me, I think I'm also just fine Reality Stoning here. Okay, Ant-Man. I'm wondering if there's like a Doom combo as well in this deck. Not sure. Not sure if that's what they would go for. Cool. And I've got a turn 3 play right now as well. Let's just play Thena into the Unknown. Soulstone could allow me to play into Vormir without triggering it. I could play the ThanoS into Vormir, though I also don't hate the idea of just throwing away the Soulstone. That could be an option too. All right. They've triggered Vormir with a Hawkeye. And we're just going to play Shadow King Soulstone this turn. Do we ever do this? Do we ever do this? And I only get to play one more card here. I kind of don't like that into specifically wins. I think I am just going to throw away a Soulstone. The thing is, they're kind of a liability if Hazmat comes around, so I'm fine just rolling with this, triggering the Thena, and being able to trigger the Wiccan next turn. We are going to have a new location in Westview. We'll see how that complicates things. Okay, that means Mojo World no longer matters. Next turn. That also means that, not Soulstone, but Bluestone, Space Stone could be a pretty live draw. Interesting. All right. Well, Wiccan regardless right here, right? Didn't leave myself with too many on reveals for Werewolf. Maybe that was an awkward play. Cersei Sentry. Little bit of a Nambo. We do have, just because I won't be able to play Cersei on the final turn. There's no interesting dynamic where I can go. They might just leave Mojo World alone, though. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of, because Werewolf Sentry is the best thing to spend my energy other than Power Stone ThanoS, but Werewolf can't really get played next turn. I could play Werewolf Cersei. That doesn't seem extremely powerful. So I'm kind of thinking Werewolf Sentry battles pretty hard for Vormir, actually tosses Mojo World, but I could reclaim Mojo World on the final turn by playing 2 cards if my opponent plays nothing there, which looks like they are going to play a little something. So we're really battling for Vormir here, with now the capacity to bounce Werewolf back into Eternal's Arc. They go for the Doom this turn, which is interesting. So no Odin. We did see, you know what we did see come out in the previous one was Heimdall. Heimdall to sneaky steal it again. We've got 16 points here. They actually beat me. So specifically, if I move the werewolf into Eternal's Arc. I think I want to pump up the Thena, just in case of Heimdall. I don't know why they played the Dr. Doom here still, but it's fine. Yeah, now I just have a lot more information about what's going on. I guess they were maybe afraid of Mobius or something. But if I pop this out of here, I'm down to 16. They can go up to 17 with a Heimdall. I think I want to make sure that I win flooded locations in a Heimdall scenario. So I think we're going for this. Okay, Hazmat to win the flooded location, and then Debris to pump up Ant-Man. That's fine. It's not going to get me over the hump there, and we will be able to take Eternal's Arc and still win the first flooded location. Works out. Works out. Heimdall is an interesting card. I guess they've got Dagger with it. What else is going on here? Oh, Human Torch, also an H. Huh. So maybe they're just like attacking from a few different angles. They can also play Aranya, so they've got that going for them. That's a bit of a bummer. That is a bit of a bummer because it means Wiccan won't work. However, we're still staying in. No retreating here. Alright, rocks are down. Probably just drop Thena here. Then next turn go Toxin Timestone. Or Timestone Toxin. Fisk Tower is good for me. That's pretty good for me. That means I could battle with Thena here, and it's going to be just really tough for them to win Fisk Tower regardless. That's fine. It's fine. Just playing this. I don't know. There used to be a weird bug where, like, if you bounced cards, they wouldn't necessarily pump up your Thena. So hopefully that's not still a thing. Nice. So I could skip a turn and destroy my rocks. I'm pretty sure that's how this interaction works, but I don't think that that is worth doing, really. Oh, Werewolf is also not good into Fisk Tower, but that's fine. Let's just start with this. We'll move it into Pet Mansion next turn, most likely. Next turn, I get to play both Thanos and Reality Stone. So that seems pretty good to me. And then I think that the wolf is going to wind up just staying in the Pet Mansion on the final turn. Hazmat, they do have Prio right now, which is interesting. And do we do anything interesting with Sentry instead? Probably not. Do we do anything interesting with White Tiger? That one I can actually see. The interesting thing that this deck does with Sentry is you play it on the final turn when your rightmost location is full already. So a play here could be Shadow King Thanos Center. Could also be to try to keep tossing priority, but I think White Tiger takes priority. I think I always take priority this turn. That is one thing that I didn't really think about in the construction of this deck. I just looked at like, oh, S's are strong. We might still just be able to Shang-Chi and Ajax here though regardless, and it's not a huge deal. Oh, Hobby Gobby. Alrighty. Well, certainly going to want a Thanos here then, right? And then it is probably just a Power Stone here, and then a pump up for Thena. That puts reasonable, interesting power amounts at all three locations. I think I'm not going to really overthink exactly what they could have for this game. I feel okay about what we got going on. And there's only one card that we don't know about in my opponent's deck, so it's probably Aranya more than it is ever going to be Human Torch. Oh, I think that I thought this opponent was on Agamotto
Victory
at one point, right? Was that this match, or was that the previous match? But I think maybe I thought they were on Agamotto just because of a Subterranea game.
the universe
Not sure, but they're clearly not playing Agamotto. They haven't played a single skill, so that would be crazy if this was an Agamotto moment. Mind Stone still seems good. I do kind of want to leave this location open for Thena, but I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to be playing a Toxin here on turn 3. I think I could do. Yeah, alright, and let's snap too. We're going to try to go for the reverse sweep. If we can, then maybe this will just be a fun way to end the video. We're certainly padding out the time, and I think I've shown a... Well, that's right. If I don't win this match, then I've got to play another match. So that will really determine whether or not this video is about to be over or not. So... the problem is I play some stones, I overdraw, I don't even get Asgardian value. So I'm thinking like Thena this turn, next turn Time Stone Toxin. And that also leaves a Time Stone in play, I think, even. But it plays 2 cards. Oh, you know what we do, actually? I think we just do this. Yeah, let's play 1 stone, but not both draw stones here. I think we're going to get the Power Stone bonus this game. We just need to find a Reality Stone. Next turn, we get to play Wiccan into Asgard. That also seems pretty cool. Space Stone has an extra power on it now, so we won't draw a card from Space Stone. But, like, what's the alternative? Next turn, we're just playing Wiccan into Asgard. I don't even think we're going to mess around with Thena this game, come to think of it. We just got too much other stuff going on, so... seems fine to me. I'm not going to draw cards in Asgard, actually, even. I am just going to deny them card draw, which is still probably worth playing for. Though, I don't know, they got a full-up hand there, too. But certainly playing Wiccan here right now. Hellfire Club, actually a little annoying. It's a little bit of an awkward location for me. Means I can't Cersei there either. Alright, looks like Wiccan will walk. Ooh, this could be... oh, an Acid Arrow into Asgard would have been pretty heads up. Or Debris to lock me out of Asgard, but nope, they are just going to give it to me here. So I do think this turn now I'm actually playing ThanoS. I've yet to play Soulstone. But unless I draw Reality Stone off the top of the deck... oh, they could Hobgoblin me in Asgard. I mean, this is just GG if they try to Hobgoblin me. And then it still gives me flexible power outputs regardless. The thing that I don't like about it is I can't fill Hellfire Club with stones. So do I ever consider this? Probably not. I think I might just abandon Hellfire Club. It means I can never play... I can never fully actualize ThanoS, but I think it's still good. I think they were... oh, well, I thought they might go for the Hobgoblin. They don't. Oh, but if they Hobgoblin me here and then I draw Cersei, that might actually just be the best case scenario. Let's see if we can do that instead. Beautiful, baby. I get a free 6-cost card. I'm going to protect ThanoS from Shang-Chi, even though I know they don't have it. And we'll see what this does. All right, we are now Cersei reveal. Here's my big Cersei reveal moment. They are battling for Asgard and hoping that Hobgoblin can carry them. Not going to be able to do so, though. And they will take over Asgard with Heimdall, which is a flavor win. Oh, but then we scream them. Nice. And Thena almost makes this one a cosmic victory. We are clawing our way back into this one. 4 cubes to 2. If we can manage a full reverse sweep, this is going to be something. They might even just tilt Concede. I've had that happen before in this game mode where people just don't like the idea of the reverse sweep. Save themselves some humiliation by just bowing out earlier. is definitely a possibility. All right, this looks like certainly a weaker draw for me, but Hell's Kitchen could save us a little bit. I will play Reality Stone here just to simply curve out in case we draw Wiccan. Dropping the stone when we've got Thena Werewolf in hand is a little bit awkward. Fisk Tower right there, also a little bit awkward. And then Atlantis, our final location, could mean a Shang-Chi target for me finally. But we're going to do this for now. Potentially setting up for a Cersei here, I see. I guess I always play Werewolf here because I might want to move it into a different location. This is actually gravy for me. So we get to do the play that I was talking about. We can Sentry, we won't be able to make a Void, and then Werewolf will jump over into Hell's Kitchen. Seems good. A little unexpected, potentially, but good nonetheless. And a big ThanoS in Atlantis, or a big Sasquatch even, might be tough for an opponent to deal with. I'm kind of afeared of what we could wind up seeing here, though. If we draw Cersei, I don't think I ever go for Cersei. I think I'm locking myself into ThanoS in Atlantis for 17 points on the final turn. But that can certainly walk. It's still a big drop into Hell's Kitchen. They have Ant-Man there. Takes them off of like an interesting Heimdall interaction. We'll see what they go for on 5. They're somewhat encouraged to, actually they're encouraged to Hobgoblin here, or just Hobgoblin me in Atlantis, right? Why not? Okay, they give me a Time Stone, which shouldn't really change too much. It does mean that I can no longer Cersei. Well, I can't Cersei in the same way that I could before. What I can do is Soulstone, bring over Werewolf by Night, and then Cersei both the Soulstone and the Werewolf. This pumps up the Thena, which is already a location that I win if they Heimdall. It also Cersei's the Hobgoblin, though, which I think is the most interesting part of this interaction. So we just have to think about how do we win Atlantis and how do we lose it. They have a free card from Anti-Venom. Honestly, I kind of just want to go for the soul read that they're going to try to Hobgoblin me here. Hobgoblin in Atlantis is a reason that you wouldn't play Hobgoblin on turn 5. They know I have a ThanoS. Yeah. Hobgoblin beats ThanoS, because that would be 4 power here to their 8. So I'm going to play this, hope that they have exactly Hobgoblin for me, and we are going to Cersei that into a 6-cost card. And that's a pretty sweet play. I gotta say, this might get the retreat out of my opponent, because this is just an amazing counter to Hobgoblin. There we go. That'll even pump up the Thena. And now we are on to the final games. Final game for the remaining 2 cubes. I'll hit my opponent with a fist bump here because we are really getting down to the wire. This is a crazy comeback if we can manage it with ThanoS Wiccan against what I thought would be a pretty strong deck. All right, they do all, and it's an ego.
I am ego, and this is my domain.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right, well, good luck. Good luck. Couldn't have it any other way, could we? We do have a curve. If we hit the Wiccan and manage to not draw stones that would mess up our energy output, like if we just played Space Stone this turn or Space Stone next turn, that could be awkward. But yeah, maybe Ego knows what he's doing. Let's see. All right, Tarnax going to be a free Cersei, and we do wind up playing the Toxin plus Space Stone. Well, let's get him out of our hands, you know? This could be fine. This could be fine. This gives me a 4-cost Sasquatch to play next turn, which we hopefully do not play into Tarnax. I'm fine basically playing anything else into Tarnax. Sasquatch is fine in Tarnax. I don't love it in Mojo World, so you know what? This is actually good. We battle for Mojo World with our 1-cost cards. That could be really sweet if they slam down a Heimdall and just lose Mojo World and Tarnax on the final turn. We definitely have some solid win conditions. Next turn, Sasquatch is only going to cost 3, and we've got a full Mojo World. Okay, that's actually kind of awkward, because now we might not have a full Mojo World. We might wind up moving out of there. Does Colleen Wing trigger Werewolf? It does. Okay, but then Werewolf's gonna hop back in with one of these stones. What did we just discard? Gosh, there's so much going on now all of a sudden. We discarded a Power Stone. Okay, Hood into Tarnax is insane value. Reality Stone into Ego could actually make this a pretty crazy situation. Oh my goodness gracious, wait, okay. I don't love that, but we're going to get to play the final turn of this game. I think that's bad for me. I think that Heimdall was just like a really good win condition that we potentially had, but we are, for the final turn of this game, actually going to be able to play here, which is really cool. We're also going to hop around this Werewolf a bunch. For some reason, it doesn't hop over to Nico because it doesn't see Nico as a spell, and on the final turn, I'll be able to play both Thanos and this Demon for a surprising point output here. What is Sasquatch going to become? That's a big question, though. Emperor Hulkling, that'll lock up Tarnax, and I think we can lock up Tink with a Thanos, so this should be enough. They still have to play to Mojo World or they lose this location. We're up by considerable enough points here. Actually, we're not up by that many points. +4, +3. For 7, we're up by 2. But still, slamming a Thanos seems good to me. I think that's better than playing the Demon because they will still have to play to Mojo World, and I think we got it done. Let's see. This one is really coming down to the wire here. Ajax plus Hazmat. Wait, no, they got me. Wow, GG. I needed to, if I had played Thanos here, Demon here, I would have won. How did they play? Oh, Tink. Tink gave them the extra energy. I didn't think about that. I thought like, okay, the biggest card that their deck has is Ajax, but, or like maybe Doctor Doom in Tarnax plus 2 more Doombots, which wouldn't trigger the basic arrow. Oh, I forgot about Pym arrow too. Okay, so they did have a little bit more point output here than I thought, but I did not realize they could play both Ajax and Hazmat. GG's to my opponent, and that means we still got to get one more win to finish off this event. So I was actually considering not even playing this deck because I think it's, oh, the Darkhawk. I added in Darkhawk last second, and this opponent is playing Agamotto, I believe. I wasn't paying attention to those animations, but
Victory.
Not sure what happened there. Are they done? Okay, maybe they just didn't like their hand and they were about to, not sure what was about to happen. But anyways, I managed to grab a win with this deck in, yeah, we got some free information there. We know they're playing Dr. Octopus and Debris, so we can expect some other Ds potentially. Yeah, and they are playing Agamotto by the looks of it here. I think. So let's go Captain America. And we could probably snap with a double cap. We also have the opportunity to just lock them out of the game next turn. That's probably snappable too. What was I going to say? I think I was just going to say that I also played this deck a little bit on normal ladder. So yesterday when I made my video about what decks might work in this game mode, oh, it's Thanos. Okay, I was trying to do the math there, but I wasn't sure how many stones there are versus how many skills there are. I was trying to do the, what am I even talking about? Sorry, I'm just totally mind flooded here. But this actually likely loses, doesn't it? Yeah, because my opponent could beat me in Bar Sinister and they've already beat me in Mindscape. Alright, I will just play Captain America here then. That's reasonable as well. Darkhawk into Bar Sinister. Okay, yeah, they're going to take out Reality Stone. I was curious which of these two locations they were going to Reality Stone. That seems pretty good for me, though, that they are now locked out of Shadowland. So what else are we hoping to do here? Well, now that they are locked out of Shadowland, and they've lost it, right? Do we have an opportunity to drop this again? Maybe we do, but maybe I should wait till next turn and also play a Dazzler. I know we win Shadowland, but I'm not sure that we'd win Nowhere. Okay, they've had enough. Fair enough, yeah. I think that there were a lot of ways that we win this game. Did I say everything that I wanted to say? I think I just wanted to say that this is like a pretty solid deck, to be totally honest. Maybe they retreated from the first game before I potentially realized they were playing ThanoS, if that makes sense. Darkhawk good into Krakoa comes down a little late, though, when we want to slam a 6 on turn 6, most likely. So I think the only change that well, that's pretty good. I think the only change that I made to this deck was... Is this fine? Yeah, it's fine. Was putting in Darkhawk, because originally I had Spider-Woman and I was like, okay, this is cute, a chance to play Spider-Woman, but I think it's just better to play another ongoing card, and Darkhawk does have some value if your opponents are playing ThanoS or Agamotto. Agamotto you shouldn't really expect to see in these tournaments because most people playing in these tournaments don't have the season pass. So that is an interesting angle to consider. So we could go Starbrand into Krakoa this turn. That gives me some flexibility at the cost of a little bit of power as opposed to just playing Darkhawk there next turn. Darkhawk might not be as strong as it initially seems because my opponent could play some stones this turn, but it's probably at the least 13 points of power. 2 more points of power, a little bit less flexibility. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. And I do feel like we're going to wind up playing Dr. Doom this game. So if they have 2 stones here, that's how I got to the number 13. Dr. Octopus hits my Doom. Oh, it hits my Darkhawk, actually. That's a bit of a bummer, then. That is actually a lot of a bummer. Oh, well. I think now I am just playing... Oh, I can't even play Doom into Krakoa. All right, we're playing Super Scrolla, then. Sure, next turn is Doom into Krakoa, and then I do, always win Shadowland. The only question is, can I manage to win Elysium if they drop a ThanoS here, and then they get to put plus 12 power on something on top of the deck. Baxter Building is nice. That's some free points for me. But ThanoS is a lot of points for them. So this could get scary. Devil Dino. Oh, they could have... Well, if they played them in the opposite order, it wouldn't have been great for them anyways. So I think I have to do this. Next turn, I'm possibly just playing Cap plus Doom. I'm possibly just playing Doom. That seems less likely. I think I've lost this game, though. What do they have here for me? They're just going to have a huge card into Elysium. I don't know how I'm going to get around that. I am winning an Elysium, but they've got a card with a whole bunch of extra power on it right now. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not even as much as Cosmo. Actually, this is just my best play. It's 11 power here.
Opponent snapped.
No, 11... Well, actually seems like it could be fine. Depends what their card goes on. And they are playing KDT. This could just be a Kang snap for all I know, right? I think we're going to ride it out here. Might be a little bit risky. but I think I've got a lot of points here with Spectrum still.
Knowledge is power.
Killmonger. That is not what I was expecting, but I mean, it takes some points off of Dazzler. Oh, plus Claw. Wow. Okay, they put out a lot of points on the final turn because of Elysium, meaning 4 plus 2. What? So I guess they're playing Death. They're playing Thanos, Killmonger, Death. That's the main combo, but with the Killmonger coming in so late, they weren't able to get out any extra points, and that'll be it. So GG's to TDK, and with that, you know what? I'm gonna play one more. I've played most of my decks that I showed off yesterday at this point. I didn't play Small Sarah. I don't think it's super exciting, to be totally honest. And I also put together a Scream deck, which I do like that Kraven and Kingpin are a reason to play K. And then for M's, you have Miles Morales and Magneto, with most of the rest of the deck being S's. Madam Web, I figured, triggers Miles and can pump up Kraven, so that's kind of interesting. And then just Mobius and Makari as tech cards. That is a fine deck, I think, but what I am actually excited to try out here is Ronan, which is a card that I typically do not really even play with in this game, but it could have some interesting utility here. The main plan is to Master Mold and Maximus to fill up your opponent's hand, and Mystique to potentially grab an additional copy of Ronan's ongoing ability. So that's a lot of M's, and from there I fill out the deck with Grandmaster to re-trigger either of these cards, and Gorgon to make these sentries a little more expensive. Plus maybe like, I don't know, it probably has some other utility. I think you could get away with playing something else other than G, though I think Green Goblin is like fine, and Gore can also be pretty cool with all of the sentries from Master Mold here. I'm also playing Ravonna really just as a means to allow me to play Gore on turn 5, so that way I can copy the Gore with Mystique. I'm not sure if that's right, but you don't really want to play Magic in a Ronan deck, which would be the other way to play Gore and then follow that up with a Mystique. So I'm just rocking with this. I don't know if it's exactly optimal, just threw it together like just moments ago, and I think it might be fun. Let's see if we can manage to do something with this. Hello, friend. Oh, this is Star Wars Geek. Yeah, they may have even watched my video, so this could be a surprising one for them even. And it does look like they've got generated cards, right? 3 generated cards. What creates 3 cards? Am I going crazy? Limbo I don't love to see, but yeah, we're gonna get him with Gorgon here, right? Oh, it's not 3 generated cards, it's 4 generated cards. So it is Agamotto. Okay, cool. That is a good excuse to play Gorgon, and now I'll be able to play Rocket and Groot into Eternity range. Yeah, weren't expecting that one, were you, buddy? Yeah, let's go for Rocket and Groot. I could have snapped to that, but I think I will snap to Rocket and Groot into Eternity range. Miss Marvel isn't going to help me that much towards winning Limbo. Towards winning Mojo World. But Green Goblin's nice for Eternity range. I think we can make something nice happen here. Let's see. This is basically a 5-point Rocket and Groot. So they would just need to play something for more than 5 to not get a rock. Otherwise, they're getting a rock and they are getting a Goblin. So Eternity range feels like it's more or less locked down. And then Ronan plus Maximus on the final turn will hopefully allow me to win Limbo alongside some other cards here. Might even wind up moving Rocket and Groot into Limbo now. I don't think I'm going to have a problem winning in Eternity range at all. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, we don't get them here. They're playing for Hope Summers. Right. Yeah, we kind of have to figure that could be a possibility. Looks like they are an AGH deck. That is an interesting combo, right? probably play the Miss Marvel this turn. The only other thing I could see would be Red Guardian plus Ravonna, which doesn't really get me anywhere too crazy other than allowing me to play Miss Marvel plus Mystique next turn. I guess this is slightly better on my curve. Sure. And continues to put points into Eternity range. We're going to be able to go over the top with Ronan Maximus on the final turn. If they let me, I don't know, they haven't accepted well, they accepted the snap, but they did not snap back. Do you have to slay? Okay, I'm no longer worried about a Galactus. That's good. We take so this is one anti-synergy with the deck. Red Guardian removes an on-reveal ability. Wins on the Groot. Okay. You're going to knock me into Mojo World. I'm not going to complain that much, to be totally honest. We do hit the Mystique, so this feels like an easy Miss Marvel Mystique here. Do have to consider some other options. So if we Ronan this turn, nah, the curve is really not nearly as good. Just trying to think if like there's any world where I want to Ronan and then Mystique the Ronan next turn in case I draw Grandmaster or Master Mold. But I think this is just such a clear line that wins me Eternity range and Limbo that I have to go for it. I could even battle for Mojo World instead. They do have Galactus. Wow, and I just wasted a bunch of power I wasted a bunch of slots into Limbo. Wow, I did not expect the Galactus. So Hobgoblin, don't really have to be worried about here. Shang-Chi don't really have to be worried about here. I think this is actually just going to get it done here still. This is a lot of points. This is, I mean, imagine they play 2 cards, 3 cards. Oh, they're going to play 3 cards because they're going to play Hawkeye here. How many cards do they have left in their deck? So we imagine this is 15 plus 6, 21. Without priority, I feel like all of this is pretty good. They could Eliath me. If they Eliath me, I have 11. It's a draw? No, I lose by 1 against an Eliath. Oh, if they got it. They could even have Eliath plus an arrow. That would definitely get me. I'm not gonna back down though here. We are going for it. So yeah, wins as a nice little Galactus card plus Hobgoblin. It's Agamotto plus basic arrow and 1 more arrow to finish it off. Acid arrow, not gonna work. We are gonna Ronan them plus Maximus. So the jig is up. They now know what I'm doing and I know what they're doing. And Ronan grabs a win. That's only 4 cubes, though. We still got to stick it out against the full match here with Star Wars Geek. So we'll see. I think Star Wars Geeks makes it into most of these community battle videos. They are also a community battle enjoyer. But now that we know that the Galactus jig is up, how is that going to impact some things? Green Goblin good against Galactus. Elysium. Probably want to throw down the rocket sooner rather than later. Probably just like rocket here because they're not going to Galactus here. All that seems pretty good. I also have an opportunity to go Red Guardian Grandmaster. So there's like some interesting incentives to play Rocket and Groot here because they might want to leave up both of these locations as potential Galactus locations, considering Galactus costs 5, and then they might want to Grandmaster at center if that doesn't work. Looks like they decided to go with nothing for this turn. Okay, all cards got to get played here. Perfect. Let's throw down a Green Goblin then, if that's the case. That probably just straight up wins me Pet Mansion, and then Ronan and Gore can hopefully find the Galactus elsewhere. Yeah, all right. So Rocket and Groot's for 4. That's not quite beating Galactus, especially up against a Galacta. Red Guardian now can't take out Galacta either, so I kind of boned myself in that capacity. And here's the problem. If I play Ronan, I can stop a Galactus. No, I can stop a Galactus here. Problem is I'm going to have to play around Galactus on turn 5 and then again on turn 6. No, I don't. I can play Ronan here, move Rocket and Groot, play Miss Marvel. That stops Galactus. Oh, I will have to stop it again on turn 6, though. Okay. Well, now I don't have to worry about it on... I do have to worry about it again on turn 5. Okay. Well, it certainly looks like Galactus wants to take a visit into Elysium. How many points is this? Never enough, right? Grandmaster doesn't work on this. I could Master Mold Rocket and Groot. I do have priority here. So move this over, that's 1. This is 6. Wait, am I actually 1 point short? Have to decide if I want to... Because if I can't beat Galactus, then maybe I should just play Gore, because it makes things kind of tough for them. Let's try this. Now I don't have the means to play around Galactus and Strange Academy on the final turn. It's actually maybe more awkward. Okay. Hobgoblin into Elysium. Oh, and then I Rocket and Groot my own Hobgoblin. But I think this is fine because... Oh, I don't actually have priority. Wild. Oh, so I've lost. No, they draw a card, and then I have priority again. Okay. So this is really interesting, because I have priority, but I don't know if I can actually do anything with that. Basically, all I can do is play a bunch of on-reveal cards, and that pumps up my Gore. It's never good enough, though. What did I play last turn? Did I play Gore? Yeah. Okay. Sure. So the awkward thing about Red Guardian is it removes an on-reveal ability from Green Goblin, which I don't love. I could put Grandmaster over here, though I'm already winning this location, possibly. If they play 1 card, I'm going to play 2. All right, I think this is fine-ish. It's not great, but it's something. They did play 2 cards, so I do lose in Pet Mansion. But let's see if I played enough on-reveal cards that both of my Gores are just big enough here. Oh, it's Galactus. Bummer. And then my Gore's going to shrink and I lose. All right. And then they just played 1 other card just for no real reason. But yeah, this Gore's slowly going to shrink smaller and smaller until it no longer works. Yeah, that was a good Hobgoblin there from them. Oh, I do Rocket and Groot them, but still not enough, unfortunately. All right. They take me back for 2. This will be a fun way to finish off the video for sure. Maximus, terrible liability. Green Goblin and Rocket and Groot are my best cards alongside Red Guardian. A little bit of tech here, actually. Master Mold could also be snappable. Depending on what else happens, Master Mold, like if they don't make a play, They do have a lot of cheap cards, though. I didn't see the Ghost Spider. Wait, did my opponent figure out what Ghost Spider actually does with Galactus? Because I could not remember what it does yesterday. Maybe. Oh, America. Yeah, that's just another way to pump up Galactus. Cute, cute, cute. Dream Dimension feels pretty good for me. I never take priority here for the Rocketing Groot. I think I actually always want to play off of their single location, because I want to get priority and I want to have high power in the other locations. Ooh, that's got to be snappable. Yeah, I don't know what else is happening here, but I need to play Ravonna because of Dream Dimension, even in a Superflow game. But I can play Ravonna next turn. I think we'll just plop this here for now. Okay, they're battling for Hala. Oh, they're playing the Sentinels. Right. Well, I think we're going to be all right with Gore plus Mystique, even if I lose my Master Mold. This turn I could battle for Hala, but like I don't want to lose my Ravonna, and they are doing all of these shenanigans. Could move over my Rocketing Groot, and then go Ravonna Red Guardian into Hala. It feels unnecessarily risky, though, because I really don't want to lose all of my cards, and I'm honestly fine if they just fill up here instead. Red Guardian for nothing is a little meh, but I think this is the play. What did they go for? Galacta. Okay, could we have beaten it? If we'd moved over this, that's 4-4. It would have me 7-2. Yeah, I could have destroyed all their stuff. So that's interesting. Dream Dimension still keeps them off of Galactus. And then here we're just going to play Gore. Then on the final turn, we're going to play like Mystique Grandmaster Maximus. Sure. Still seems all right for me. Most of their cards are going to be on reveal cards. Can't play Hobgoblin this turn either. This is just a Sentinel. Okay. Yeah, this is where the Sentinel Gore combo comes into play, which is nice. Do we have the win in Hala? I think so. I think so. They just have to play one on reveal card. How many cards do they have in hand still? 7? So I could instead decide to go Ronan plus Mystique. But I think I'm counting on myself playing Grandmaster Maximus and then them playing one more card as well. Have to decide if we're battling for Superflow or if we're battling for Dream Dimension. Galactus is 9. Oh, do I lose to Galactus here? I put myself in a scenario where I do actually lose to Galactus right now. So this is the anti-Galactus play. But that does not make me big enough over in Hala if they only play one on reveal card. They would need to play 2 on reveal cards. Which if they're not playing Galactus, then maybe they are playing 2 on reveal cards. Fingers crossed we got the read here. Oh, I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it. Clock ticking down makes me feel less confident in this play. This doesn't still win. Wait, no, it does. It does still win. Okay, this is still fine. Yeah, this is a good line. This is a good line, because Ronan still beats Galactus. Oh, I can't take it back. I want to move the Rocketing Groot back into Dream Dimension. Out of time. That's fine. Let's see what happens. It's Galactus for 11, but with 6 cards still in their hand, Ronan will be able to take them. I think we got a weird end of turn bug there, but we were still able to get it done, even moving that Rocketing Groot, which would have been better center. So yeah, that would have been a risky play had I gone for the Mystique copying the Gore, which is no longer in play, but just a big Ronan, that'll do it. And now we are up 8 cubes to 2, and that will do it for this video. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed and you're still watching at this point and have not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button for more sweet Marvel Snap. But for today, I'm NoLucksGiven. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.